US Ryder Cup captain Davis Love is warning Europe's golfers to expect a fiery reception from the home crowd in Chicago. But is this just hot air in the windy city? Europe's Graham McDowell thinks so.
The crowd are going to be on the American side. I mean, that's inevitable, but the hostility's gone a little bit to a certain extent, and I think Davis wants birdies and eagles to be made to get the crowd fizzed up and charged up and make sure that they're 120% behind the guys, and it's going to be exciting and it's going to be loud.
Well, joining me for our Sports Spread Ryder Cup special are Ed Fulton of Sporting Index and here in the studio Reuters Sports Ian Axon. Gents, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Ian, let's start with you then. A lot of talk, as we heard, about the hostile American crowd. How much of an advantage is playing at home in this particular fixture?
Well, I don't think it's going to be quite as hostile as it has been in the past. There's been some very fiery Ryder Cups on US soil in the last 15 years or so. But I think it's still an advantage for the US to be at home. I think when they play in Europe, Europeans, that home advantage really works in their favour, and they've been successful in the past. I think it just kind of evens up the balance a bit, the US being at home this time.
OK, Ed, let's bring you in. Pretty close at Celtic Manor 2 years ago, with Europe regaining the trophy, 14.5 to 13.5. What do the odds tell us about how evenly the teams are actually matched this time round?
Well, I think they're extremely evenly matched, and the betting in the last week or so has slightly gone skewed. All the money's been for America. I was thinking all summer America were going to be a good bet, and when Davis Love made his captain's picks, I found them a little bit conservative. I thought he could have gone with a Fowler or a Barnes just to spice it up, and he went with sort of old, reliable Furyk, Stricker, and that's when I thought Europe have got a shout here, because it really is, to me, a pick-em. America's slight favourites because they're at home. 6 out of 7 have gone to the last Ryder Cups have gone to the home team, and I just think that Europe are perhaps a little bit of value now. Most of their top players are used to playing in America, so the American crowds are familiar with them, and they like them. G-Mac, Rory, they're very popular with the American crowds, whereas at Brookline, when things went a bit Monty was kind of, someone they like to get after. So I'm just thinking, yes, it's going to be a raucous crowd. Chicago's a big sports town, they love it. But they could easily just get behind, good golf. And I just think America are pretty short now.
Perish the thought. Ian, what about player pairings? They are pretty key for that first part. I mean, traditionally, the Europeans do that better because they play team play better. What do we know about who will play with who at the moment?
We don't know too much. Both captains are keeping stum. Davis Love said that he was up until, I think, 3 in the morning yesterday thinking about his pairings. We've seen some practice pairings. It looks like the US pairings are probably going to be, as they practice, we've seen the European pairings here. I think there's going to be some changes there. McDowell and McIlroy, who practice together, are likely to play together. But it's more likely to be, I think, Donald and Garcia playing together, and Rosen, Poulter, Westwood and Molinari. But with the US practice groups, I think that's going to be more to the way that we're going to see them on the course on Friday and Saturday. Woods and Stricker, that's a given, really. They've had a very successful Ryder Cups in the past, and I think generally those pairings there that we see that the US have practiced with, they'll be the ones we'll be seeing on the course.
Ed, we talk about these top players. World number 1 Rory McIlroy playing down his role in the team, and Tiger Woods admits he's played badly in previous Ryder Cups. Both, though, top of the top points scorer index.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised really for Woods, because he even when he was a superstar and beating everything, he still had pretty poor Ryder Cups for for someone at his level, and he's clearly not the golfer he was. So I wouldn't be in any rush at all personally to get with Tiger this. The European I'm interested in, obviously McIlroy is a superstar already, but Luke Donald has an absolutely sensational record in Ryder Cups. He's played 11 matches, he's won 8. I think he's only lost 1. And on our index, the 50-30-20-10 index for the top scorer, this is for both teams, he's at 7-9. Now I think that's going to be very popular. He kind of creeps him under the radar a bit because he's not ostentatious in any way, but he just goes about his business, and that probably keeps the price down a bit. But so of the Europeans, I think the one that people are latching onto, I know that he's probably going to get tipped up in all the trade papers as well, but Luke Donald is absolutely straight down the line, solid. And he could be the linchpin for Europe if they're going to be successful.
Okay, and let's talk psychology here. The Europeans have got the spirit of Seve, and it's even on there's a sort of silhouette of him on their golf bags. And the Americans have got, of course, former US basketball star Michael Jordan. this is an individual sport. How much does the psychology come into it?
I think it plays a big role. I think in the past, Ballesteros was a great kind of Ryder Cup player and really got everyone going. And I think